I want to divert back to something you said, which, the thrill of the hunt. So there's two different types of men really when it comes to um what they enjoy about pursuing and, sleeping with women. There's men who are like thrill of the hunt men, and there's a pleasure of sex men. So there's men who the thing they like most about women is the chase, getting the woman to fall in love with them, right? The trying to basically seduce her into wanting to sleep with you, building her attraction, and then getting that validation of like, okay, she wants me, and then sleeping with her. And then it's not actually even the sex itself that's the most satisfying. It's the knowing that you got her, right? Knowing that you successfully completed the hunt, right? And there's a pleasure of sex men who they don't really care as much about that. It's more the actual act of intimacy and the sex itself that they're chasing. So for me, I'm definitely more of a pleasure of sex guy. Like I never really sure, like the honeymoon phase when you're with a new girl is fun, but it's like I wasn't really addicted to that at all. I liked when that would be over, so I could just enjoy, what I wanted to get or wanted to have with a girl, which was, intimacy. So you said you're obviously more of a thrill of the hunt guy. And my brother's that way too. Like he'll be super into a girl, and like once he knows that he can get her, he doesn't have to sleep with her. Once he knows that she likes him and she wants him, he'll kind of like his interest will drop a lot. So it's crazy in that sense. But for you now, who's married, how do you feel like that aspect of you has that like kind of carried on? Is that something you have to deal with, that craving the thrill, or after years of celibacy now and semen retention and purity, your mind chemistry just completely changed now? To where you're now enjoying just monogamous long-term relationship and Carezza with your wife.
Well, keep in mind at the time I was on semen retention caress as well, so I
Oh,
was
you
very
were? Oh, wow.
busted.
Yeah.
But that being said, after I got married is when I had the most sex and the best sex of my life,
Mm.
and it for sure shifted into just enjoying the sex itself. The first 2.5 years of my marriage, I haven't missed a single day of sex.
Mm.
Usually it was like at least a couple times a day. I only broke that couple year streak of banging daily intentionally to experiment with Carezza, to further myself in Carezza. And that was a break point for me. But we could talk about that later. So, developing a bond in sex is very fulfilling, satisfying, and becoming one flesh as the God ordinance is. Because when you're hooking around, you don't have that depth. It's more of a pleasure only. There's no like soul connection. I know they say sex is soul connection, but I didn't feel it at the time. It was
Yeah.
simply an exchange of pleasure.
What about the
Now it's
women?
more of a deep bonding, and you truly feel the embodiment of becoming one flesh. You feel
Yeah.
that through this realm.
Yeah. For sure. And do you ever feel that like urge for variety creep in at all? Or is you've basically transcended that lust and now you're in the spiritual state where what's most fulfilling to you is just your bond with your wife and you desire nothing else? Or is it a temptation that's kind of in the background still whispering that you have to fight? What do you feel like you're at?
It's initially lurked kind of in the system or in the background. It did lurk when I transitioned to that, but I quickly got accustomed to it. And what I mean by lurk is, for example, when I was 3.5 years celibate and I was looking for a wife, I had the same mentality as spam approach woman in church youths, whatnot, versus just kind of letting God ordinance play through and approaching the one I truly, I thought if I spam approach, my odds would increase and eventually I'll find my wife. But when I kind of just stopped doing that, prayed about it, and when I did see a girl that appealed to me, I just simply approached. That was a lot more fruitful. And to answer your question, it transitioned me out of that pursuit of quantity, where
Mm,
I pursued quality now, and the quality
mm,
surpasses the quantity. My new mentality. So I don't think about it. I don't think about um, like banging a lot of other women or craving a variety or whatnot. It's simply a pleasure of the flesh that I put off. You know, you die to your old self, you become reborn, and that desire no longer has a place in me.
Yeah.